Hello, brothers, and welcome to Sigma Old Man Channel. A lie has speed, but the truth has endurance. The moment someone lies to a Sigma male, it's not just a fib, it's a challenge. Did you know that humans lie, on average, 3 times within the first 10 minutes of meeting someone new? Fascinating, right? But here's the twist. When you lie to a Sigma male, it's like playing poker with someone who already knows your hand. And no, they're not bluffing. You see, Sigma males are wired differently. Their razor-sharp intuition is practically a sixth sense, and their ability to stay calm under pressure makes them terrifyingly unshakable. The funny thing is, you might think you're fooling them, but they've already cracked your code and are just deciding whether to call you out or let you keep digging your own grave. Spoiler alert. Either way, it won't end well for the liar. So what happens when a Sigma male catches onto a lie? Buckle up, because this isn't your average tale of calling someone out. It's a masterclass in quiet dominance, psychological finesse, and a touch of poetic justice. Number 1, he traps you in your own web. When a Sigma male knows he's being lied to, he doesn't explode or accuse you on the spot. That's too predictable and messy. Instead, he calmly lets the lie play out, giving you just enough space to trip over your own words. He's not in a rush to prove he's right, because he knows time is his ally. By staying silent and letting you dig deeper, he's already setting you up for the ultimate checkmate. What makes this so chilling is how effortless it seems. While you're busy spinning your story, thinking you're convincing him, he's quietly connecting every inconsistency in your words. His memory is sharp, and his ability to detect even the slightest changes in your tone or body language is unparalleled. You don't realize it, but every additional word you say is tightening the knot on your lie. He doesn't just wait for you to stumble, he subtly guides the conversation, asking casual but strategic questions that seem harmless on the surface but are designed to expose the cracks in your story. And you fall for it because his calm demeanor convinces you that he's completely buying into what you're saying. That's the real trick. He lets you think you're in control while he's already 10 steps ahead. When he finally decides to address it, he doesn't need a dramatic confrontation. All it takes is a single pointed observation or a question that you can't answer without exposing yourself. By then, the web of lies has already collapsed, and there's no way out. His ability to dismantle deception isn't just impressive, it's unnerving. And the worst part? You never even saw it coming. And number 2, he loses respect silently. When a Sigma male loses respect for someone, it happens quietly, almost imperceptibly. There's no shouting, no dramatic confrontation, and definitely no warning signs. It's like a mental switch flips the moment he detects a lie, and once it's flipped, there's no going back. Respect to him isn't just a courtesy, it's the foundation of every relationship he values. When it's broken, the connection crumbles. What's fascinating is how seamlessly he handles this shift. He doesn't need to call out the liar or demand an explanation. That would mean wasting time and energy on someone who's already proven they're not worth it. Instead, he internalizes the moment, locks it away in his mental database, and silently recalibrates his interactions with you. He might still smile, nod, and engage in polite conversation, but make no mistake, emotionally, he's already gone. This silent withdrawal is what makes it so unsettling. Most people expect some kind of reaction when they're caught lying, anger, disappointment, or even an argument. But the Sigma male gives you none of that. He simply files you under untrustworthy in his mental Rolodex and moves on without so much as a ripple. You're left wondering why things feel different, but by the time you notice, it's too late to fix it. The most brutal part: he doesn't even hold a grudge. He won't go out of his way to hurt you or seek revenge. He'll just remove the emotional investment and treat you as a peripheral figure in his life. To him, respect is a one-time currency. Once it's spent, there's no refund policy and no second chances. Number 3, he learns your weakness. When you lie to a Sigma male, he doesn't just catch the lie, he uses it as an opportunity to understand you better. To him, deception is like an unintentional confession, a window into your fears, insecurities, and weaknesses. He's not the type to confront you immediately or make a scene. Instead, he calmly observes, analyzes, and takes mental notes, all while you think you've gotten away with it. What makes this so unique is his approach. He doesn't see your lie as just an insult or a betrayal. He sees it as data, Every lie reveals something, why you felt the need to hide the truth, what you're protecting, or what you're afraid of losing. He studies these patterns not because he plans to exploit them, but because he refuses to be blindsided in the future. A Sigma male is deeply strategic, and your lie becomes a tool for him to ensure you'll never have leverage over him again. His method is disarmingly subtle. He won't probe you aggressively or make you uncomfortable. Instead, he'll let you talk yourself into revealing more than you intended. It's a masterclass in patience and psychological insight. By the time he's done, he's mapped out the areas where you're most vulnerable, your need for validation, your fear of exposure, or even your hidden motives. But here's the kicker. He doesn't use this knowledge to manipulate or control you. That's not his style. He simply files it away as armor, ensuring that no matter how clever you think you are, you'll never catch him off guard. To him, understanding your weaknesses isn't about power. It's about self-preservation. And the more you try to deceive him, the better prepared he becomes. Number 4, he questions everything about you. When a Sigma male catches you in a lie, it's not just the lie itself that bothers him, it's what it represents. To him, dishonesty is never an isolated incident. It's a red flag that makes him reevaluate everything he thought he knew about you. That one moment of deceit sends ripples through his perception, forcing him to question your intentions, your character, and even your past interactions. It's not paranoia, it's logic. If you lied once, what's to say you haven't lied before? What about that story you told last month, or that promise you made last year? Suddenly, every detail feels suspect, every memory is up for debate. He'll replay conversations in his mind, dissecting your words for inconsistencies and hidden motives. To an outsider, it might seem excessive, but to a Sigma, trust is too valuable to leave to chance. This shift is quiet, but absolute. He won't accuse you outright or demand explanations. Instead, he withdraws emotionally, putting up an invisible wall you'll struggle to tear down. Every interaction from that point forward becomes measured, calculated, and detached. You may not even notice the change at first, but it's there, in his tone, his silence, and the way he stops sharing anything meaningful with you. The harsh truth is, once a Sigma male starts questioning you, the trust is already broken. Repairing it is almost impossible because to him, trust isn't something you rebuild, it's something you either have or don't. And if it's gone, so is the deep connection you once had. A single lie may seem small, but to a Sigma, it's the thread that unravels everything. Number 5, he lets you think you've won. When a Sigma male catches you in a lie, he doesn't react the way most people would. There's no outburst, no demand for the truth. Instead, he lets you think you've pulled one over on him. You might even feel a sense of triumph, thinking you've successfully manipulated someone so composed and perceptive, but in reality, you've just fallen into his strategy. To a Sigma, life is a chessboard, and every interaction is a potential move. When he uncovers your lie, he doesn't see it as a defeat. He sees it as an opportunity. By pretending to believe you, he gains an edge, gathering more information while you're busy basking in your perceived victory. His calm acceptance isn't a sign of naivety. It's a deliberate move to let you lower your guard and reveal even more than you intended. This tactic isn't about revenge or manipulation, it's about control. Sigma males value being in command of their circumstances, and by letting you think you've won, they ensure you'll never suspect they're already 2 steps ahead. It's like a chess player sacrificing a pawn, not because they're losing, but because they've set up the perfect checkmate. The brilliance of this approach lies in its subtlety. By the time you realize he was never fooled, it's far too late. He's already used the lie to reshape the dynamics. Whether it's distancing himself from you, protecting himself from future harm, or strategically placing himself in a position of power. The lesson here is simple. You might win the battle, but when it comes to a Sigma male, the war was over before it even started. Number 6, he feeds you just enough rope. When a Sigma male knows he's being lied to, and the lie directly involves him, he doesn't confront you outright. Instead, he turns the situation into a subtle interrogation, feeding you just enough rope to let you hang yourself. He'll drop small, seemingly insignificant pieces of information, maybe a vague comment, a harmless question, or a casual observation. It feels like a normal conversation to you, but to him, it's a calculated setup. The brilliance of this tactic is how natural it feels. You don't realize he's leading the dance because he makes it seem like you're the one in control. But every word you say, every added detail to your lie only deepens the hole you're digging. He's not just listening to what you say, he's analyzing how you say it. Your tone, your hesitations, your choice of words, it all becomes ammunition for him. By the time he's finished, you'll have unknowingly revealed everything he wanted to know. Maybe you'll even slip up and contradict yourself, exposing the full extent of your deception. And when that moment comes, he doesn't need to argue or call you out. The truth will be painfully obvious and you'll be the one left scrambling for excuses. What makes this so devastating is how effortlessly he pulls it off. You think you're outsmarting him, weaving your web of lies, but in reality, he's already dismantled it. To a Sigma male, the best way to uncover the truth is to let the liar reveal it themselves. And the worst part, you won't even realize you've been played until it's far too late. Number 7, he filters your access. When a Sigma male identifies you as a liar, he doesn't lash out or stage some grand expose. Instead, he quietly adjusts the boundaries of your relationship, making sure you no longer have access to the parts of his life that matter. It's not about revenge. It's about protecting his energy and ensuring that your dishonesty doesn't cause further damage. The shift is subtle but deliberate, and by the time you notice, the door is already closed. He starts by limiting what he shares with you. Conversations that once felt open and meaningful now feel shallow and transactional. You might ask about his plans, opinions, or feelings only to receive vague answers or polite deflections. The deep connection you may have had is replaced with a distant, almost professional tone. He's not being cold. He's simply removing your ability to misuse any personal information against him. This filtering isn't limited to emotional access. If the lie touched on professional or social dynamics, he'll quietly start blocking your influence in those areas too. He won't sabotage you, that's beneath him, but you'll find fewer opportunities to interact in meaningful ways. The invitations, insights, and support you once took for granted will suddenly vanish, leaving you on the outside looking in. The genius of this approach is how gradual it is. A Sigma male doesn't burn bridges, he just makes them inaccessible. You might not even notice the walls closing in until you realize you're no longer part of his inner circle, and by then it's too late. To regain his trust is nearly impossible because in his mind, filtering your access isn't temporary, it's a permanent safeguard. Number 8, he keeps it professional. When a Sigma male realizes someone he has to deal with is lying, be it a coworker, client, or even an acquaintance, he doesn't waste time trying to fix the relationship. Instead, he shifts into a mode of calm professionalism, no drama, no confrontations, and definitely no clues that he's onto you. From the outside, it looks like nothing has changed, but behind the scenes, everything has. The first thing he does is compartmentalize. Whatever personal rapport existed before is shelved indefinitely. Conversations that once had a casual, friendly undertone are now stripped of warmth. He'll still be polite, charming even, but only in a way that serves the purpose of the interaction. Need a report? It'll be done efficiently. Want to brainstorm ideas? He'll contribute just enough to fulfill his role, but if you're hoping for personal anecdotes, shared laughs, or mutual trust, forget it. That ship has sailed. What's striking is how seamlessly he pulls this off. You might sense a change in tone, but you can't quite put your finger on it. That's because he doesn't make it obvious. He simply recalibrates the relationship to operate on a strictly transactional level. He's not interested in exposing the lie or calling you out. To him, the truth is already clear, and wasting energy on theatrics isn't his style. This shift is his way of protecting himself while maintaining functionality. After all, in a professional setting, he knows outright conflict isn't always the smartest move. So he keeps things efficient, detached, and unshakably neutral. You may think you're still in his good graces, but in reality, you've been quietly downgraded to business only. For a Sigma, it's not about punishing you, it's about ensuring you no longer have the power to affect him personally. Number 9, he calculates the cost of confrontation. When a Sigma male catches someone in a lie, his first instinct isn't to confront them directly. He's not interested in getting caught up in petty drama or wasting his time on an emotional outburst. Instead, he quietly calculates the cost of confrontation. What does calling out the liar achieve? Will it disrupt his goals or drain his energy? If the answer is no, he'll remain calm and collected, choosing to let the liar believe they've pulled one over on him while he plans his next steps in silence. To a Sigma, life is about efficiency. Confronting someone over a lie isn't about justice for the sake of justice, it's about considering the bigger picture. If exposing the deception will lead to unnecessary conflict or distract him from his objectives, he'll let the lie slide, temporarily. But make no mistake, this isn't about forgiveness. It's simply about choosing his battles wisely. He doesn't need to win in the moment because he knows he can always win the long game. While you might think you've gotten away with your lie, he's already mentally calculating how to distance himself. He knows that engaging in a confrontation may just give you the opportunity to manipulate the narrative or shift the focus to something else. Instead of reacting impulsively, he calmly moves forward, ensuring that the lie doesn't affect him or his plans. The silent brilliance of this approach is that while you think you've won, he's already planning your exit from his life. And by the time you realize what's happening, the door will have quietly closed behind you. For a Sigma, avoiding unnecessary conflict and staying focused on what matters is far more powerful than any momentary victory in a confrontation. Number 10, he tests your limits. When a Sigma male realizes you've lied to him, he doesn't just accept it and move on. Instead, he goes into observation mode, carefully testing the limits of your deceit. It's like he's playing a quiet, calculated game where your actions are the pieces and he's watching every move you make. He subtly pushes boundaries, seeing how far you'll go to keep the lie intact. Will you double down? Will you backpedal? How far are you willing to stretch the truth before it snaps? The genius of this approach lies in its subtlety. He won't confront you head-on or make a big deal about it. Instead, he'll create small scenarios that nudge you into revealing more. Maybe he'll ask casual questions or drop an offhand comment that hints at the lie. With every little push, he's observing how you respond, all while keeping a perfectly neutral expression. It's a cold, calculated process, like a cat toying with its prey, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. What makes this so unsettling is how detached and strategic it feels. There's no drama, no angry confrontation. He doesn't need to expose you in front of others or even call you out. He's simply giving you enough rope to hang yourself. The longer you stretch the lie, the more exposed you become, and the more he learns about your character. Every additional layer of deceit you pile on only deepens the trap, and before you even realize it, you've revealed your entire hand. For the Sigma male, the lie itself isn't the issue, it's how you handle it. By testing your limits, he's not just gathering information, he's measuring your integrity, your resilience, and your ability to cover your tracks. Once he sees everything he needs to see, he silently withdraws, leaving you with nothing but your own lies. In the world of the Sigma male, deception is met with silent mastery, not confrontation. Every lie that crosses his path is not just an opportunity for disappointment, it's a chance to learn, protect, and outsmart. He doesn't waste energy on unnecessary conflict or drama, and he certainly doesn't give people the satisfaction of knowing they've been caught. Instead, he moves with quiet precision, watching, calculating, and strategically making decisions that keep his peace intact and his goals on track. If you lie to a Sigma male, don't expect an explosive reaction. Expect the quiet shift of someone who has already mentally checked out, plotted your course, and decided that your presence no longer holds value. He won't beg for respect, and he certainly won't fight for trust. He'll simply cut you off, move on, and leave you wondering what happened. And in the end, that's the most powerful response of all. If you found this insight into the Sigma male's world fascinating, don't let it slip by. Hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss out on more deep dives, expert perspectives, and tips that keep you ahead of the game. Join the journey and let's keep unraveling the mysteries of exceptional minds together. Subscribe now and stay tuned for what's coming next. You won't regret it. Bye for now and see you in the next video.